Speaking of WFAN employees, Eddie, do you have the John Jastremski Goodbye? So, JJ, what night was this? Was this Friday or Saturday or Thursday or whatever? He's had the last show?
I don't know what the date was.
Okay, so over the weekend, JJ has
Sounds
the
like
last
it'd be
show.
like either a Friday or a Saturday, right?
Yeah, I guess, because we would have known about it, I guess, if it was Thursday for Friday show. So JJ said goodbye to the WFAN audience as he's going to the Ringer podcast. And this was a moment for him to say goodbye to the audience and say farewell, my friends, until next time.
I love you all. We have only just begun. I feel like I should be dropping the mic right now and walking off the stage. JJ out. Be good, everybody. On a fan.
JJ out. My heart goes out to all you guys. JJ out.
On a fan.
On a fan. Dropping a mic on a fan.
He also did that thing where he goes, I didn't always have my best. Like a ball player.
Oh, that's right. Do we have
Some days.
Do we have the longer one?
I can.
There's a
find that
longer
for you.
one?
Oh, yeah, there's a longer one, yeah.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Some days you go 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And some days you hit a couple home runs. But one thing's for sure, I always gave you my best. I love all of you. I do. You're my heart. You're my soul. You're my being.
I didn't realize he was that emotional.
JJ out.
I lived and died on every single one of these shows. It's my heart. It's my soul. Blood. Guts. Everything I got. Every single night. You got it. Some nights I was probably better than others. Like anybody else. You're like a starting pitcher. You know, you get 30, 32 starts a year. There's some days you got really good stuff. There's some nights you got really bad stuff. But then you got to find those ways to grind it out. We grinded it out for 9 years on every time slot known to man. I'm beyond grateful for this opportunity. I'm sure many of you are wondering why I say goodbye. Dreams change. Opportunities change. But know this. This radio station will always be home. Always and forever. I don't know what the future holds. I'm excited for my new opportunity. I fully expect to take names, kick butt, and do what I need to do at my new next venture. But when you see me on the street, you see me at the ballpark, you hear my voice. For many of you, the first thing you're going to think of is WFAN. I am not the person I am today without this radio station. That's just the God's honest truth. From the support of everybody who has worked here with me, the callers, the audience, my fiancée, Caitlin, who is co-number 1 fans with my mom, who is probably hysterically crying right now as she is listening to these final words. Dad, 2 sisters, whole family. I love you all. We have only just begun, to quote Chris Berman. This journey is far, far from over. This chapter may be coming to a close. But the next chapter is going to be a pretty good one. I've said it so many times. I feel like I should be dropping the mic right now and walking off the stage. JJ out. Be good, everybody.
I would have thought, like, if I heard that,
Yes.
that he was dying. Like, and that was the last words that he was ever going to say.
Well, he may be.
Like, and for everybody that's here, going to be left here on Earth, I'll be looking down from Sports Talk Heaven, smiling upon all of you.
I get the family thing and the parents listening
course,
and all
yeah,
that. Of
we
course,
all-
we all
understand
appreciate that.
yeah.
We appreciate his wife and all that other stuff that she has to put up with all this nonsense. But you know, the blood and guts part, that was a little much for me.
But he held it together. It didn't get all emotional like some others.
I love all of you guys. And then, lastly, thank you. This is unbelievable.
Every one of these shows, I poured my blood, sweat, and tears into it. Every ounce of my being. For all the callers, every night. Sometimes you have your good stuff. Sometimes you got to grind through 9 innings. We grinded through 9 years together. Me, you, Fliegelman, Harris Allen, Ben in Queens, all the great callers. So with this final breath
On a fat.
I bid you adieu as I disappear into sports talk heaven.
Or obscurity.
Yeah.
As I am now passing away into sports talk heaven, I will smile upon you from above. JJ out. Drop the
On a
mic.
fat.
On a fat.
On a fan. On a ringer. Well, good for him. That's very good. And to hold it together and not cry after nine long years.
And good on the station for letting him say goodbye, which is rare in our industry, as we know.
Although I heard he messed up one day. One of his last shows, I was told. Where
Ow.
he said something like, make the switch or something like that.
Oh, so he was promoting where he was going.
Yeah. So then there was a little bit of a regret factor that was going on there.
By
heard
the
that.
company, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Who's switching to that? Please, come on.
Yeah, I always think like
let's be honest.
You get to say goodbye and name your new place if we think it's a lesser place. You know what I mean? Like if this place thought it was a better place, they wouldn't let you say goodbye.
Sure.
Why would we?
Right. But if you're just making this decision, you're going to just finish it out.
I mean, I was just looking at the Ringer podcast. That there must be about 30 of them right here.
And I'm doing 28 of them. And I'm going to put my blood, my sweat, my tears, my guts
Does he have his own podcast?
into
or?
all this. My intestines into this podcast.
Because, Al, currently, how many podcasts are there on the planet?
It's got to be a million podcasts.
I will
Has to be.
take every one of my organs and grind them into one organ of love and sports talk. I'll stick all my organs in a blender and blend them up and feed them to you in one special organ drink as I try to pour every ounce of me into my new venture.
Put Roman behind him up.
On a fan. On a fan. Yeah, I saw him do a podcast with Cece, who was filling in for Ryan Rucco. He tweeted that one out.
Oh, okay.
So he's off and running. He's doing his thing.
On a fat.
On a fan. Not anymore. I don't know what the future holds. I could come crawling back in a couple of months. I don't know. Like when Brian Scalabrine left Sirius and then started crawling back after the Radio.com Sports Network fell apart. I could be like that. Or maybe not. Or maybe it's great.
Will he be back? Little poll? I say yes. On a fa.
On a fa?
I think he'll be back on a fa.
You think he'll be back on a fa? I would think probably yes. I think at some point he inquires about coming back. I would think so. Yes! Boomer, you think so or not?
Yes, I think he will be eventually.
Al, back here on a fan?
I'm going yes as well.
Okay, look at that. Well, nobody believes in this venture, I guess, for JJ. In 2 years, you're going to say, the last 2 years here at the Ringer, I put my blood, my sweat, and my tears into every podcast.
And guts.
And guts.
Yes. And intestines.
I poured my guts into this.
Sometimes dreams change and then they change back again.
Maybe it's a nightmare.
Right? Sometimes dreams change. Like, you're on your way to sleep with a beautiful model, and the next thing you know, you got no pants on in your history class. That's a dream that changes. This is also a dream that changes. And it's going to change back again. I was on a fan.
On a
I was
fan.
off a fan.
On a fan.
And now I'm on a fan again.
On a fan.
On a fan.
Because he could always say how much he missed the callers because there's no callers on podcasts. You
Yeah.
know?
You know, I need to talk to you guys. That's what I got to do. I got to do that. I got to talk to you. This is me. He always like slaps and does stuff. If you ever watch,
Yeah.
It's like this is what I need. I need to feed off of you guys. That's what I need. You know, podcast is nice. I like Simmons, but I need to be with you guys. There's nothing like that.
Right, because on podcasts, you don't get this.
Number two, did you ever hear Andy Pettit You take the letter A in Andy and you put it with petted. It spells appetite. And you ever think of that?
I never thought of that. Well played. well played. Well played. That's great.
Fat.
Appetite.
I wonder if that was one of the shows that he had to grind through. Or
He's going to miss it.
it was a great run at the Ringer, but I need to be back with you guys and do live sports talk. That's what I'm meant to do.
Instant updates.
Yeah, on the air. Recording it's one thing, but doing it live for you guys on a fan. That's what I want. That's what I need. That feeds my soul. My soul that I give back to you. It's like every ounce of my soul leaves my body and enters yours. And then all of a sudden, you are now the host of my soul, my sports talk soul. Yes. And I miss that in the podcast world. That's what I try to do for you guys. Is enter your body with my soul. On a fan. Back on a fan. Well, best of luck to JJ. I do wish him well. I mean, of course. Just like to have some fun.
Sounds like it.
No, I do. I texted with him. I hope he does well. It's just funny.
I'm sure you did. You are the scuttlebutt guy around here.
I didn't have much of a relationship with him, though.
No, but you told me this was happening.
I did.
2 months ago.
I did, but not from him. Not from
And by
him.
the way, it just goes to show you can tell me something, and it's not going to.
You get out there.
Right.
Right. That's another one of those things.
Yes.
You are good. Lock and key.
Done.
Yeah.
You had that scuttlebutt, and you had to tell somebody.
I did.
And if you told Al, it would have been all over the place.
No, I did tell Al, too.
You did?
I did. Yeah, I told Al. Yeah, and he kept it close, too.
Good job, Al.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I can be trusted.
So this is what I do with these things. So if someone tells me something, I ask them, how... when you tell me don't tell anybody, do you really mean don't tell anybody? Is it really, let's go to the next step. If I were to tell somebody, would it matter? So I asked that next question as opposed to just saying, yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody.
Yeah.
So the person that told me, I said, do you really care if anybody else knows?
Yeah, but see, it's how you ask the question.
I know.
But you're inferring to him as you're asking the question.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to care.
That's what I do, yeah.
Yeah, so then this way it gives you a license to go ahead and tell somebody.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Yeah, but see,
But if that person were to come back and say, absolutely not, you need to not say anything, then I wouldn't.
Yeah, but it's how you ask the question, and you're asking the question to get the answer you want to hear. So if you ask the question a little bit differently, phrase it a little bit differently, that person may say, no, don't go and tell anybody because there will be collateral damage somewhere along the line. You're not answering. You're not asking it that way. You're not saying, hey, JJ, hey, if I go tell somebody this, there's probably going to be some agita or collateral damage along the line. He would probably say, you know what, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, but by the way, to make it clear, it was not JJ who told me this. This was not JJ. So, but he probably wanted to keep it quiet, but he told somebody, and the chain ended up back to me somehow. Oh,
yeah, so because you're the king of scuttlebutt around here.
Yeah, I didn't talk to JJ a lot. I did not have
we didn't have a lot of interaction, especially through COVID.
Exactly. So this was through other channels.
And when you were working on the other side,
the upside down.
Yeah, you were not running into him on a daily basis.
No, I was not. Yeah. So, I don't know. I just like to find out because people say that a lot. You can't tell anybody. So I just like to see how serious is this. If a friend tells me something personal in their life, that's different. Don't tell anybody this is going on with me. That's totally different.
Leaving jobs is not personal?
That's career stuff.
Okay.
And every bit of our career stuff is on the air. You know that.
Yeah, you're right.
But by the way, just to be fair, yes. I told Al.
Okay.
But we never talked about it on the air. To say
no, we would never do that.
We weren't going to do that. So we did respect that. We just had conversations amongst ourselves off the air.
We could talk about JJ behind his back.
Well, basically, yes, but yes. He wouldn't want it on the air.
No, I know.
So we protected him in that way. So I thought that was nice. I thought we did a nice job with that, quite frankly.
Okay.
We had a little conversations about it, fulfilled our thirst for scuttlebutt.
Yep.
And then we kept it right where it needed to be.
That's I don't have nearly as much thirst for it than you do, as you do.
My blood, my guts, my innards, my pancreas, it all goes to you every night as I grind through the night. I grind all the way through the night. Sometimes you got your good stuff. Sometimes you don't. But I grind it with you.
On a fat.
On a fan. Boomer and Geo. On a fan.